The microphone has been unmuted and we are live. Hello everyone and welcome to the Formula Virtual Racing GT7 League. My name is Nathan, bringing you the action from Francorchamps round 5 of Season 4. We've got a sprint and a feature race lined up for you tonight. Apologies for the slight delay in the stream. My co-commentator can explain all.
Yeah, I have been deathly ill over the last few days, but back here and happy to be back for round 5 and looking forward to this one. I'm sure it's going to be a great race, or a great couple of races even, around one of the best tracks in the world, Spa-Francorchamps. And yeah, let's see how the drivers tackle this one. I think we're going to go down to the grid now. Hopefully.
Indeed, we are. To show you how these drivers are lined up after the 10-minute qualifying. They didn't get many laps here tonight. Some drivers missed out on the line and some missed out at all, including our back row, Jensen Taylor on the left and Kian on the right. Neither of them set a lap time in qualifying. They didn't actually make qualifying itself. 14th place is Maurice in the Lamborghini Hurricane. He's in as a reserve tonight. And we've got Tim starting third on the right-hand side. He starts behind my current teammate, Sav's former teammate in James, who starts 12th, just a second and a half off pole position. Missing out on the top 10 is Leon on the right-hand side, but Kino, the other Red Bull Nissan, did make it into the top 10. A second off pole in 9th is Cameron Hill in the Audi. He starts behind the boss man, Evan Dalton, in 8th. Into the top 7 is myself on the right-hand side, 1 second off pole position, and Liam Houseman in 6th place in as a reserve driver tonight. Adam Hans in the top 5 in the Mercedes, behind Piero in 4th for the Audi team. Quite a big gap between 4th and 3rd, 5/10 separating Shea Easton on the right in the Mercedes. But our front row of the grid is Maurizio Veldhuis, our championship leader, on the left in 2nd. And Tyler Davison starts on pole position with a new look to his Peugeot. Orange and black this week for the Belgian Grand Prix. We've got a full grid of 16 drivers and a sprint race to determine how they will line up for the feature. Zav, do you have anything to say before we get the race underway?
Yeah, well, for one, really love that livery on the Peugeot. I hope that one's staying. Very distinctive, stands out on the grid. And yeah, another thing to add, just for those of you who aren't aware, the top 8 get reversed from this race for the feature race, meaning that the driver who finishes in 8th starts on pole for the next one. Other than that, though, I think our usual suspects up at the front, really. See how those Mercedes can launch off the line. They have very good traction at low speed, and we'll have to see what that McLaren can do as well up against Tyler Davison. I say the Peugeot, though, been the shock of the season so far. Converted 2 wins last time out. Last time I was here, even in Sardinia A, with I think Evan taking the sprint and then Tyler taking the feature race. So again, starting from the front, we know how strong that he is in that car, we know how strong that car is. Let's see what happens as we go to 5 red lights.
Yes, definitely. Would you like to count us down then and get our sprint underway?
Sure. All right. Well, let's get this synced up. Wait. Start. If you start from when the light's off the screen. Okay, there we go. Yeah, cool. So 3, 2, 1, begin. Right, okay, well, here we go then for 5 red lights at the beginning of the sprint race. It's lights out and away they go. There we go. So Davison now gets off to a good start. We've got Veldhuis now being challenged by Easton in towards the first corner. Rouge and Radion, they ride up the hill now for the first time. The Peugeot maintains its lead then as we go up Rouge now and down the Kevil straight here. The car's ducking into the slipstream, ducking and weaving here and putting out to the outside now goes Easton. He's going to challenge Davison straight away. It's Britt on Britt into the first chicane of the lap. They're bumping and banging on the way in. Veldhuis goes down the inside there, 3 wide, off goes Easton Piero, and off goes Veldhuis, through goes Piero. Fantastic work, he was 5th, going on to the straight. He ends the first sector in 1st position now as he head down to Bruxelles for the first time. Cars jockeying for position everywhere here, but Piero, what a start from the Frenchman. He leads the Belgian Grand Prix as now Natty and Easton going side by side into no name. Natty on the outside, and that was a car off in the background, and who was that? There was multiple cars off. You've got what champion? The reigning champion. The reigning champion is off. I think that was that Taylor there off the back, and he's now fallen back down to 14th, 15th. Had made up some places on the opening lap in that Lexus, but now drops back down to 14th place. Piero leads then though, Natty, and what a cracker of a first lap that was. Piero 51st.
An incredible start from a car that hasn't had the best of starts in the opening races, and that was our reigning world champion from last season, Jenson Taylor, off at No Name. I think got involved with a collision with Evan Dalton in front down the road, and with the track so narrow at that corner, just couldn't avoid that collision. But the grid has certainly changed since the start of qualifying. We've got another car off, that's Maurice down in the middle sector. He's back up and running. But what a great start from Piero, who's going to lead the field away down into the bus stop chicane, ahead of the pole sitter Tyler Davison. A couple of cars changing positions in the background. That's myself on Adam Hans, trying to go round the outside into the bus stop chicane, into the final corner with the inside line, and that is myself up into 4th place with the 2 Team Spirit drivers behind in hot pursuit. There's a Nissan Red Bull out of shape under the final corner. That was Kino or Tim in their battle for 8th place, and our teammates are getting involved in the background of this battle.
Yeah, here we go, tagging out down the inside of one of the Red Bull livery cars, gives him room on the exit of the source. Tiger picking up a penalty, I believe, in the last race for a collision with Evan Dalton in Laguna Seca. We wanted to avoid a repeat of that for sure as we head into the new race at Belgium. That lets us know not the greatest car around this track, so it could be an uphill battle for him today, but still trying to make the most of it, coming under pressure though from Leadys in the Mercedes behind. I'm more interested though back up here at the front, because we've got Adam Hans now going down the outside of you, Natty, and actually they're both Team Spirit cars. Freight Train, the BMW there, no love lost between the fellow German manufacturers. It's the Porsche now actually getting interested on the back of this as well. So we've got German cars running all the way from 4th down to 7th here, heading to Bruxelles once again. Piero though still leading in the Audi. Davison getting detached just a little bit now from Piero. The Veldhuis that's closer to the back of that Peugeot than the Peugeot does to the Audi in front, but our grid's still really close together here, even after 2 laps of hardcore racing. Car going wide there in the background as well. I believe that was actually Kidwell there.
Yeah, and Jenson Taylor, after that incident down a lap ago, he's caught up to the back of the top 12. He's got Leon and Kino in front of him on the racetrack. He might have one car dispatched as we go through pole, and he's got a crazy amount of overspeed on the Mercedes. He's already ahead, and we've got another car off round in the background on the exit at No Name, catching a lot of drivers out in the early phase of this race. Jenson's making his way through the field quite nicely. If he can get up into the top 8, he will put himself on the pole position for the sprint. He's trying to go down the inside of Kino in towards the end of the middle sector. He has the inside line through, never remember what that corner's called, turn 16, but he's up into 11th place. Stavelot, that's it. And he's got Kidd in front of him to move into the top 10. Back up to the front of the field though, Tyler's shaping up and move on Piero, who defends to the inside line. Having started on pole, Davison lost the lead down at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Piero defending well though into the final corner, and you can see the trainer cars that follow this top 3. They've got a bit of a gap to Adam Hans, but the pack still so close together. We start lap 3 of what will be a 9-lap sprint.
Now down the inside into turn 1, has a look, backs out of it though, but as we were talking about in Sardinia, Natty, given the choice between trying to get a better starting position by finish behind the car in front of you in the sprint, as opposed to going flat out and trying to score some extra points, all the drivers here going for the extra points option, giving it absolutely everything out there on the circuit right now. Your top 3 still nose to tail, as Veldhuis now pops out from the slipstream. Might be a bit early in the McLaren, he's going to try anyway, trying to get some of the side draft from Piero with the overspeed in the McLaren now down the outside. Can he get 2 into 1 here? Going into the com on lap 3, Davis another cut the inside. The Veldhuis now sweeps around the outside. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. And what a move there from your championship leader as it stands at the moment, as they now round the end of the first sector. But opportunistic stop there from Veldhuis. So having another look now, but Davis going back down the inside. Is he into Bruxelles? Yes, he is, because he squeezed him out on the exit. The Dutchman, he does, puts him onto the AstroTurf. Veldhuis has to back out of that one, and Davison reclaims 2nd position.
Great racing from the top 3. They're definitely going for points over position for the feature race. It is of course a longer feature race to make up the time and positions, whilst the front 3 are battling. The bottom 3 behind them have caught up to that battle for the final spot on the sprint podium, and they're bringing Liam Houseman along with them in that beautifully designed Porsche 911. I wonder who designed that livery.
Oh, you really shouldn't have that.
Behind them, Jenson Taylor and Kian are going side by side in the battle for 10th place. Jenson's got a time penalty, half a second for track limits. He does go down the inside, but he's going to lose a couple of positions by the time they get to the penalty gate, which is on the exit of turn 16, and we are approaching it now.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a scruffy season here from our reigning world champion, Jensen Taylor. He's now losing position to Sir Ducky after serving that penalty. Goes back down to 11th place, now just needs a little bit of a reset, needs to go again because there's still lots to fight for in this one. As a nagging challenge by Leadys around the outside, but manages to fend off the Mercedes. But yeah, definitely needs a reset at this stage in the season. Just he knows he has the pace, just needs to like reset and go again, basically. But yeah, Davidson's still piling the pressure on Piero, who is soaking it up like a sponge, it must be said so far. These sprint races, as we were saying before, don't last very, very long indeed. So not too many opportunities to make an overtake. You have to make it stick when you do. That is definitely for sure. But as we now go down through Rouge, up through Radion, I'm not going to get corrected by WTF1 on that one. Oh, Piero's off! Piero's wide! And now that's going to give Davison such a massive opportunity and the Veltoys, and they both go through as Pierre has to give back the time gained and gets a half-second penalty now. But here we go, Davison and Veltoys, they're swapping sides going into the next corner. Oh, that was a bit more than one move by Veltoys. The studios can have a bit of a look at that one post-race, and maybe I'll have a look at that one if Davison decides to report it. But yeah, there's interesting defending going on at the front, but ultimately a mistake there for Piero has now given the lead to Veltoys.
As Maurizio leads in the sprint, that penalty from Piero is going to drop him potentially behind Adam Hans. The front three squabbling for first place. This train of 7 cars have now caught up into one long train. They've just dropped Kino in 8th place as Jensen and James are making their way through the field. Kino's picked up a time penalty, so might lose that position to James, but back up to the front three. They're so close together. Even after 4 laps, 8 minutes of racing, we're in for an incredible feature race. This is just the sprint, 15 minutes of on-track action, foot flat to the floor. No tyre saving, no fuel saving whatsoever. Piero, though, will be serving a half-second time penalty, which could see him drop out the top 3.
Yeah, that's a big shame for him. It was a monster move on that one, and now all of his hard work is about to get undone. Through goes Hans. Easton's going to have a look, I'm sure, as well. In the slipstream now of the Audi. Does he make a move down the inside? No, tucks back into the slipstream. Gives a bit of a bump draft as well. So Piero, they're actually not losing out too much. They're losing the one position. Be about to lose another one. Easton down the inside. Piero manages to bend it around the outside. Later on the brakes. Keeps the position. Great defending from the French. And is now Marriott on the back of Easton. Looking to make a move into turn number 1. The man who dominated the French Grand Prix earlier on in round 2 of the season. Natty having a look up down the inside, but can't make anything happen at this stage. And the top 7, actually, Natty, being this close together now, does create a very interesting race here for 8th place, because we've got 2 packs right now. One pack fighting for the top 7 in terms of points, but the other pack is fighting for the feature race pole position as Jensen Taylor now closes in on the back of his fellow Lexus driven by James Kidwell.
Yeah, like you say, one battle for points, the other battle for pole. We've got James and Jensen in that battle for pole position, key finishing position from the sprint, 8th place. It's like qualifying 11th in the old F1 qualifying format. It's tactical pole position, but this is for sprint pole position. Here in FVR GT, up in front of them, we've got Liam and myself going side by side down the hill in towards Bruxelles, I believe, turn 10.
Bang in there. Trading paints the Spider GT car and the BCR Esports. That was so close to disaster. It was a forceful move by Liam down the inside. Used his car as a bit of used Natty's car as a bit of a break, but got the move done though. To be fair, up into 6th place now, and well, a sprint race, Natty. These are the kind of moves that you kind of see, like just trying to scrimp and scrape and trying to get back up the grid and trying to score some more points in this short format. As Jensen Taylor has actually gotten past Kidwell there for P8, so for reverse grid pole, does now have that position sorted.
Yeah, both BCR drivers actually losing positions at the same corner on the same lap, but one of them might be about to get that position back. Myself nearly pushing Liam through Stavelot, turn 16, going down the back straight into Blanchimont. They're going to go side by side, get squeezed all the way up to the white line on the inside. The BMW and the Porsche wheel-to-wheel through turn 17 and 18. Liam runs wide off the track. There's contact as he rejoins going into the bus stop chicane. Liam has the inside going in towards the final 2 corners and goes a little bit deep.
And this one getting a bit frosty here as they're bumping and banging all over the place. Liam and Natty still going at it now into turn number 1. Liam has the inside line. Will Natty try and hang this around the outside? It's going to be later on the brakes. Headed into the corner now. Can he get the switch back, the up and under, and get a run into Rouge and Ragnar? I'll tell you what, he's very close. And we're going to see a pop out here from the BCR Esports driver. Ducks back into the slipstream. He's having a look. Doesn't go for it now. Decides to be patient. Decides to wait for that longer straight down into into the next chicane. I really thought you were going to go for it there, Nathan. As how defensive does Liam play us now? Natty to the outside. It's a drag race. Porsche versus BMW. Who's later on the brakes? Who's braver on the brakes? There's more contact. Liam defends the inside, and for now, keeps 6th place.
And I've got a feeling that these positions might continue to trade in the final couple of minutes of the sprint. Liam defending in towards Bruxelles. Going to have to try and go the long way round the outside, but it's not going to work round that corner. Behind, Jensen with a half-second time penalty in the closing stages of the sprint may bring James back in with a chance for feature pole position as the top two have begun to pull away.
Easton having a look into poo. Oh my word! That could have been an airplane crash with Piero. Stuck her nose up the inside into one of the fastest corners on the track. Piero though saw it coming, closed the door, and Easton with nowhere to go. Sorry, now I just speak over you. I just wanted to have a look at that one because that could have been a very ugly crash there. But yes, you were saying before.
Well, no, it's getting close between them two. Easton back down the inside of Piero in towards the final sector. We've got a car off. Adam's off.
Hands.
He's lost it in the final 2 minutes of the sprint. He's down into 8th place, and look who's gaining hot on the scene. It's the battle for pole position in the feature race. Adam and James now side by side with 2 minutes to go in the sprint, and we're there side by side to see who starts first and who starts ninth. Here comes Aquino on the outside through Blanchimont. James gets ahead up into 8th place, but the recovering Mercedes down into 10th, which damage that will be fixed in 30 seconds. There it's been fixed, but they're 2 by 2 into the bus stop chicane. James is ahead, and he's got 1 and a bit laps left to defend feature pole position.
And there's about 4 or 5 cars behind him. All of them want that reverse sprint pole. 8th place is so important in these sprint races, creating a very interesting dynamic now. Look at the train of cars stacked up behind the Lexus. Can Kidwell hold them all off for one more tour of the longest circuit on the second longest circuit on the calendar? I forgot we go to Sanquois for a second there. To Rouge and Radio Navic up the hill. The Lexus doesn't have the legs on the and in a straight line. The Orchid Astro's wide. Here comes Ducky. They're going to go 3 wide, are they? Ducky having a look. Not at the moment. Oh, here we go. They're 3 wide now. Down the Keppel Straight into the next chicane. They're going to go 3 wide. Who comes out on top? Ducky comes out top. He's gone wide and they're 3 wide again. Astro in the middle. Astro goes through. We've seen some great racing. Put the name of the corner now. Lacombe. I'll say Lacombe. But now Astro takes 8th place then, away from Tiger, and takes for now has reverse grid poles. That's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Trying to see if there's anything else going on up here at the front. Veldboy is leading by example so far as he has a couple of races this season so far, as we are now confirmed to be on the final lap. So I think we're going to keep our cameras on the battle for reverse pole.
Well, we've got a battle for 5th place between myself and Liam going side by side in towards turn 13. Liam has the outside for 13, the inside for 14. The battle to see who starts 3rd and 4th in the feature race. Jensen's now going to try and capitalise and go right round the outside, is he? He can't pull it off on that one, but he might have a look on the inside in towards Stavelot. Going to try and put his show his Lexus in on the inside.
And they're going still side by side, one of the fast scores on the track. Your reigning world champion versus Nathan Marriott now in the latter stage of the lap. We've seen Verstappen go around the outside here in 2015. Can Taylor recreate that? No, he can't. Ducks back into the slipstream, but Veldhuis is rounding the final corner now, and he will win the sprint race here. Davison in hot pursuit to the line. Veldhuis wins the sprint. He will start 8th for the feature. Easton will be 3rd. Lim sliding out of the final corner to finish 5th behind Piero in 4th after that great move on that one. Marriott finishes 6th, Taylor 7th, and it will be Astro to claim a feature race pole position. James Kidwell missing out there in 9th place, Ducky 10th, and all the cars crossing the line in a flourish there, but it will be Kino and Evan Dalton now who round out the grid. But what a sprint race. We are in for a treat, I am sure, ladies and gentlemen, when we get to that feature race. So stay where you are, and if you aren't staying where you are, you better be grabbing some popcorn. This is going to get real good.
Yeah, we talk about fine margins in qualifying with about 2/10 separating the top two. There's about 2 seconds separating 5 cars as they fought for feature pole position as they crossed the line. Some drivers missing out, some drivers capitalising on the sprint race format.
Oh, hang on, yeah, let me go and grab the feature race.
It's now time for the main event, where most of the points are up for grabs.
Right, following Spa feature. Cool. Do you want to run through the grid for this one?
Yes, let's run through the grid, see how they line up from the feature race. So it's a top 8 feature race from the sprint. It's Kino on pole position, having finished in 8th, ahead of Jensen in 2nd. Myself lining up 3rd with Liam in 4th, Pierre the top 5. It's Easton in 6th, Davison in 7th, Veldhuis in 8th, Kidwell in 9th, and Kian in the top 10. Cameron starts this one in 11th, Leon in 12th, Adam in 13th, Kino in 14th, Evan in 15th, Maurice in 16th. I said Kino twice. Who did I mistake that for? Oh, sorry, Tim's on pole position. Yes, Tim on pole position. Apologies. There's several Dutch drivers on the grid this season.
There's a lot of common flags.
Have you got the feature race up?
I am. I'm in the thing. Yeah, ready when you are, mate.
Right, we'll do the usual countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. As we prepare for the rolling start here in Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. It's going to be Tim to lead us away from pole position. We have the countdown and we send it in Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix. Taylor pulls over to the left-hand side. He has an issue at the start of the feature race. He'll drop down outside the top 10 as Tim leads them up through a Rouge and Radion for the second time this evening. We're at racing speed as Taylor gets up to racing speed at the back of the pack.
He's back now, yeah. I'm going to say strange problem there for the championship leader, but yeah, as we were saying, Astro now leads Natty in 2nd place. It's a war behind though, as Lim going down the outside, as into Lecom, Easton down the inside of Piero, no major move. There we have Davison and Veldhuis making contact, no damage dealt, but they all managed to survive Lecom on lap 1, and they head now down in towards Bruxelles and No Name. You've got Lim going, looking at the back now of Natty and of Tim, who Natty now leads. Tim with a half-second penalty. Natty leads the Belgian Grand Prix as it stands.
Pole sitter now from 1st to 5th. He's dropped 2 positions through No Name, and with that time penalty, Davison's going to try and get past on the inside in towards Pouon. The Peugeot charges through into the top 5. Maurizio Veldhuis looking to try and follow him through as they make their way down the hill in towards turn 13. Veldhuis might look for me on the inside, but decides to back out of it. And like you say, it's myself that's leading as we enter the middle sector of Spa. Liam in 2nd, Shea Easton at the top 3. Tim from pole position starting to drop through the grid. Maurizio trying to go around the outside, but a huge slide from the Nissan on the exit of Stavelot. That'll open a door of opportunities for the car behind to have a run down through Blanchimont.
And for the second time this week, we've seen a Red Bull car going sideways from out the corner, and a Dutchman driving it as well. So there you go. So here we have Veldhuis and Kidwell now, nose to tail going into the bus stop for the first lap. Natty is going to lead us away though at the end of said first lap as Veldhuis, I believe. So Kidwell coming, having a look up the inside, doesn't go for it in the end, but who's going for it? Ducky, and he's hit Kidwell. And I think the stewards could be having a bit of a look at that one, because the Mercedes came from absolutely nowhere there and has made contact with the Lexus now, and that definitely wasn't really on from Ducky. Stewards will be having, a look at that one for sure.
Yeah, Dele and $1 short, I think, as James picks up a half-second time penalty. He's got quite the train of cars behind him. We'll need a really good second lap to try and pull out a gap by the time they get to the penalty point. Luckily, he's got 2 minutes of on-track action before he gets to that point. Meanwhile, behind, Liam and Shea battling for second place. The Mercedes now looking for a move on the inside as they make their way down the Kemmel straight in towards Lacombe. Turn 7, 8 and 9. Liam's going to try and squeeze him over to the inside before retaking the racing line, but it's Easton up into second place. Liam's going to try the up and under by the time they get to turn 8, but by the time they get to turn 9, it's Easton up into second place. Liam will try and fight this back though. Piero looking to get interested down through Bruxelles. Davison going down the inside of Piero in the Peugeot. A bit of contact between the two, but Davison dives it up into 4th place.
And I was going to say, it was a good move from Davison. He had to get that one done. I honestly believe if Easton could get into the lead of this race, we know how quick he was in clear air. In Sonqua, he could try and make a breakthrough early on in this one. But I think definitely a crucial move for the Mercedes to make at this stage in the race. It is good around here as well, that Merc. So let's see what he can do from here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on what Easton's progress has been like. He, of course, dominated the race in Sonqua when he got into the lead of the race, but since then it's been a run of rather average results for him since that win, looking to try and get finished back on the podium. The last 2 podium finishers, by the way, in the last 3 races have been Tyler in 2nd and Veldhuis in 3rd. They'll be looking to change that statistic here tonight and go one better maybe for the lead of the race, but they've got a couple of cars to get past before they can find themselves on the top step of the podium. Davison looking to try and get past Liam as they go through Blanchimont in towards the bus stop chicane, but I'm not sure he's close enough on this lap to send it as Jameson and Keno go side by side. There's a little bit of contact between the two. The Brits on the inside of the Dutchman, of the outside, sorry. Tim has the inside line and maintains 7th place.
So yeah, some interesting battles going on down the field. We've had Taylor recovering from that first lap issue now and back up into 13th, got past Leeds and Tim so far. There's nice to have a look at the boss man himself, Evan Dalton, now into turn number 1. How much does Evan defend this? Not very much at all is the answer. Taylor on the inside gets the move done cleanly and goes up into 12th place.
And a bit of a strange start for Jensen. Not sure what happened off the line, but he got going pretty quickly after the field went past. But he is quite the way away off of our top 3. The top 2 have got a little bit of a gap to each other, but one that I wouldn't say is comfortable at this stage of the race. Of course, we are only 3 laps into a 19-lap race. Behind them, though, there's all sorts of action as Piero goes down the inside, defending 5th place from Maurizio Veldhuis. The 2... I can't link the McLaren and the Audi nor their nationalities, but they are still. Oh, there was a big slide in the background for Tim, who nearly was facing I think he was facing the barrier, but lucky to keep it in a straight line. But is still running inside the top 8 despite starting from pole position, and I think we have everyone on the mediums for the start of this race.
Yeah, not too much in the way of strategic difference, so it's looking like it's going to be a one-stop race here. I think the pit lane on the 24-hour layout is just way too long. Like, it's almost a minute for I think for a full pit stop there. I think we're going to be seeing the drivers just trying to manage their tyres a little bit, try and eke out as much grip as possible, because you do not want to be spending an extra minute in that pit lane, even around such a long track like this. That's still over half a lap basically in these cars. So is Easton now really closing up to the back of Marriott, as this is what we were saying a bit before. Really wants to get that Mercedes into some clear air, because it does fly when it's honestly on its own. And we've actually got Davison here getting past Lim on the exit of Stavelot now and in towards Blanchimont, making his way now up the field as well. And in a similar situation to Easton, that Peugeot again, we saw how good it was in clear air at Sardinia, trying to replicate that position. I'm sure Veldhuis going down the inside of Piero into the final corner, gets the move done. Piero picks up a half-second penalty for track limits, makes a bit of contact actually with the McLaren on corner exit, but no harm, no foul as it stands. We now move on to lap number 4. The drivers here, though, still doing lap times very close to each other. Last time round, Taylor was quickest on a 19.2, but the top 2 separated by just over 10th of a second, and Davison as well, matching your top 2 drivers in the 2-minute 19s, so 19.9 for the Brit on that most recent lap. Lim looks like he's holding up a bit of a train at the moment in the 221s in the last lap. Veldhuis will be looking to try and get past him as quickly as possible. Does not want to lose sight of the leaders. Don't forget, he is our championship leader.
And he's trying to elevate himself in this race. Liam defends the inside. It's going to have to be the outside in towards Lacombe for Maurizio Veldhuis. Liam breaks late on the inside. They make a bit of contact. Veldhuis is off. He takes to, I was going to say the escape rope, but he goes over the curbs. He keeps the position. Will he have to give that back? Well, he's going to give it back sooner rather than later. It's a 1.5 second time penalty for the championship leader for going over the curb.
That's controversial, actually, because you're the championship leader picking up a 1.5 second penalty for being forced. Oh, Tiger's lost it!
In the back of the shot.
Kidwell into the wall, and now hands going down the inside into Puhon in the back of the shot. And so we're talking about the game giving out some controversial penalties. Tiger absolutely losing the rear and spearing into the left-hand side barrier there and run into Puhon. And yeah, there's some damage dealt, but that will repair itself. So we'll be losing some time momentarily as Taylor now making very good progress. Back up the pack now into 9th place. He'll be looking to get past his fellow Lexus. There's another crash. And that's going to be, Hill's off in a separate incident. Ducky's off as well. As Tim now goes through after he wasn't the first time, there was a car top. So Kino even goes through now up into top place, but Ducky and Hill there having a bit of a little bit of a kerfuffle, and they've both now lost a lot of time and a lot of track position as well.
Yeah, lap 4 catching out 4 of our drivers there, as it has. Veldhuis has served his penalty. He drops down into 6th place ahead of Adam and James, but all these battles, all these penalties, it's just brought the midfield much closer together. The front 3 been able to pull away and create somewhat of a gap, but this train of cars that I would start behind Liam going through turn 1 could create for a very interesting feature race when they begin to close up to each other and start to race. Jensen as well in 9th place. He's all over the back of James as they make their way up through Rouge and Radion for the 5th time this evening, as our reigning champion looking to try and score some more points here tonight.
Yeah, at Tiger's expense now on the back of, in the slipstream on the back of the Lexus. Loosely outside, we're on board now with your reigning world champion. It's a Lexus drag race into Lecom now on the outside. The chrome Lexus versus the blue. He has the outside line. Can he swoop around the outside? Yes, he can. What a move by Jensen Taylor to grab 8th place away from PCR Esports, and it's a good move from him. And now he sets his sights on Adam Hands in front.
Just how far can he make his way through the field? Can he go all the way? He's got time to do it, and if there's anyone who could do a last to first, it would be him. There's a penalty in the background for Tim, started on pole in this race, having finished the sprint in 8th. Now finds himself just about running inside the top 10 with Evan close behind. The top 2 though, or the top 3 have begun to pull away. Davison is sticking with Easton for 2nd place. But it's all about managing tyres in this race. Like we were saying, it's a long pit lane. You don't want to be on a 2-stop. You want to take these tyres as far as you can so you can make it onto the softs as opposed to the hards. Tyre wear shouldn't be too bad for these drivers tonight if they can manage the fronts. And we'll have to wait and see how the strategy evolves over the course of the race.
Yeah, certainly will be here as... the last lap where fastest car in the top 3 was your race leader at the moment, Nathan Marriott. Looking very comfortable up there, looking at home in that BMW, reminiscent of what was it, Grand Valley? It's a couple seasons ago, wasn't it?
Yes,
we won that
Grand
one as
Valley,
well,
season 2.
Yeah, I was going to say. So Nathan, no stranger to leading a race. Finds himself here and handling it very well, that must be said so far, as Lim now coming under pressure from Piero and Veldhuis behind, who have now detached us a bit from Taylor, and Hans coming under pressure from the chrome Lexus in towards turn number 1. Hands on the inside line, can Taylor get the up and under? He's going to have a look for it. Hands twitchy on the exit. It's going to be a move here into Rouge and Radion from Jensen Taylor, giving us an overtaking masterclass here at Spa so far. On the outside into Rouge, inside for Radion. What a move! If he can pull it off, he has pulled it off. Of course he has. Jensen Taylor takes 7th place with an absolute screamer of a move there. Great driving from your reigning world champion, showing us how it's done.
It was brave, bold and beautiful, and up in front, Piero defending from Veldhuis for 5th place. The Audi parking his car in all the right places to keep that McLaren behind. There's a bit of contact through turn 9. I think Piero just about kept it within track limits. We couldn't quite tell with that camera angle. The game hasn't penalised him, so you can assume he has done. But this battle for 5th place is beginning to get quite interesting now that Taylor's caught up into 7th. Will we see the Frenchman defending this position as best he can to allow his teammate to close in on this battle for the top 5? Bear in mind, the front 3 are beginning to stretch their legs over this battle for 4th place.
And I'm just looking here at the tyre wear very quickly. The top 3, pretty decent tyre wear compared to the rest of the field. But Taylor actually surprisingly, actually no, probably not surprisingly, actually he's pushing the most at the moment. But with the worst tyres in that top 7, but using the tyres to good use to go and chase down Veldhuis, Piero and Lim. Basically here on lap 6 out of 19. Still a long way to go in this. We'll never reach half race distance yet. And what's going through your mind right now, Matty, actually, as you're leading a British 1-2-3 as it stands so far?
Well, what's going through my mind is, well, we'll get onto that in a second, actually, because being a driver in this race, I know what begins to happen at the end of lap 6 to start lap 7. And let's just say my eyes are on the weather radar and in my rear view mirrors, because there is a chance of rain here at the Belgian Grand Prix. The clouds are covering the circuit. The wipers haven't gone on just yet, which is often a good indication for when the rain hits the circuit. But I can tell you...
Sorry, they're 3 wide, Nancy, into turn 1. We've got Veldhuis, Lim GT and Piero going into turn 1. Veldhuis on the inside. It's an opportunity he's been looking for. 2 into 1. The championship leader. Can he make the move stick? They're still side by side. Veldhuis does make it stick, does make it count. And here comes Jenson Taylor. He's got past his teammate. He's trying to get past Lim. Up the inside. Into Region Manager on backside of the move. We're going to have another one through Radion, which you don't often see in GT3. And there's absolutely no tail. It's an 8-car train right now as they go down the Kemmel Straight and Lim GT tucks into the slipstream. Veldhuis goes defensive. Taylor looking up the inside of the grass, and now up the inside of the... Here comes a Porsche to the outside. Lim GT back around the outside of Veldhuis and takes back 4th position. What an incredible sequence of corners.
Incredible racing as it starts to rain at the circuit. Liam defending in towards Bruxelles as the track begins to get slippery. Veldhuis up into 4th place. Liam defending from Taylor, trying to go round the outside. You can see the wipers working their magic on these cars. Will we see enough moisture for intermediate tyres? We'll have to wait and see. Lap 7 and 19. The heavens have begun to open. Going through Paul. Taylor on the inside, and Liam should get that done. Indeed, he does. Moves into the top 5. The Lexus on a charge through the field. He's got Veldhuis in front of him, our current championship leader. But the grip meter's getting dangerously close to warranting intermediate tyres. Piero trying to get past Liam, who's struggling in these changeable conditions. The Porsche maybe not really suited to this kind of on-track conditions. The mediums are wearing. There's not going to be a lot of grip on those tyres. Will we see anyone take a chance and dive into the pits?
I think right now you just got to, you can take the risk to almost stay out now. It's getting so close to that bar, but it is creeping up so slowly. Are we going to see any of our racers pit? The moisture meter goes up even further. Nathan Marriott, does he make the call here? Does he come into the pits? No, stays out. The top 2 stay out. Davison stays out. Okay, Veldhuis now coming around the final corner. Does he stay out or go into the pits? They're all staying out. Taylor commits. Taylor's going to commit to the intermediates, I believe, here. So Taylor comes in. It's a gamble from your reigning world champion. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. Is anyone else going to follow him in? No, everyone else stays out so far.
Everyone's staying out, and this is either for intermediates or an early 2-stop strategy. And whilst he's in the pit lane, the top 2 getting very close onto this slippery circuit. Myself leading the way, has done for the last 8 laps, but that lead might be cut short as Easton in the slipstream down the Kemmel Straight. Is he going to be close enough? I defend to the inside. Easton goes to the outside. He's late from the brakes, but not late enough. Stays in 2nd place for now.
The top 2 they're really close together. I'm still waiting to see what tyres Taylor's going to go on to. Just keeping our eye up here. Easton having another look around Bruxelles. Nax defends it well, though, keeps him off of that BMW for now. And it is the intermediates here for Taylor. It will be the intermediates on that Lexus. The meter isn't going up, and now it's literally a pixel away.
Here comes Easton, on the inside through Pouon for the lead of the race. forces myself wide and off to the track, but Easton goes through in Pouon and up into first place as the rain has just about stopped raining. The wipers aren't moving. I think that was the wrong decision to pit for the Inters unless there's more rain on the radar, but for now the rain has stopped, and with 14 cars now on the circuit, the track will be drying quickly.
And yes, and I think Taylor, you're right, Natty, has made a mistake. I think he pitted too early for those Inters. The grip meter's coming back down now. The track is drying. It is drying, so but it could still be treacherous offline for some of these drivers. The curbs will still be holding a little bit of water. It could get a bit treacherous out there. But now Easton still leads from Natty after that overtake at Pouon.
Yeah, you can see in the bottom left the grip meter just hasn't quite gone above the first bar, which is often the changeover point from the slicks to the wet tyres. The top three very close together out on the track. They've pulled a little bit of a gap to Maurizio Veltois in fourth, Piero in fifth, Liam in sixth. Adam and James keeping up in this battle for fourth place behind, going through the bus stop chicane. They've got a little bit of a gap to Evan behind the two. Red Bull Nissan's battling for the top 10. That's Kino ahead of Tim, who has a 5/10th penalty and a slide through the final corner.
It's probably a race to forget for the Red Bull Nissan cars. One car starting on pole, one finding itself out of the points so far in this race. And yeah, definitely a race to forget for them. Dalton Lowe's made some decent progress up into the top 9 now in the Peugeot. Not getting on as well as Tyler Davison, his teammate at the moment, finds himself in third and closing actually a bit on Natty in front. And Taylor stays out on the intermediates, interestingly, here. And I think that it feels a bit like desperation, hoping it's going to rain some more, but a costly error here from your reigning world champion. He's now 14th and lapping some 30 seconds slower than the cars in front. A charge halted there for Jenson Taylor.
Yeah, it was a great start to the, well, not a terrible start to the race, but he recovered it well, running inside the top 5. He's won the last 2 races, looking to try and make it 3 from 3 this week, but on that intermediate tyre, as the rain has stopped, and we were saying this at the start, it's such a long pit lane at Spa, and in that 1 minute of going in, changing the tyres and coming out, the track conditions have completely changed. He was expecting it to be wet enough for the intermediate, and instead we're still seeing the front runners lapping faster on the medium. The rain has stopped, and I don't think there's a chance of it coming back. At least the radar is clear for now, but that could all change by the time we get to the final stages of this race. Easton still leads for myself in second, Davison in third, but with a time penalty.
And yeah, I'm going to say that's going to put Veltois now within striking distance of the Peugeot. You can see him in the back of the shot there momentarily now. Veltois has been quicker than Davison on the last lap, 2 minute 19, compared to 2:21.2 for Davison as they now end as they run around the final corners on the lap. Davison goes deep as well into the bus stop. Veltois sets it up nice, so that's more time lost there for the orange Peugeot to the white McLaren, as now Veltois over the line there, 2:20.0, another 2.6 seconds then, taking out Davison's advantage. Veltois is coming for the podium.
He's on a charge. The two drivers in third and fourth, currently first and second in the Drivers' Championship. Adam and Liam going side by side. Liam's round on the exit of turn 1. He's floored it a little bit too soon, and he's in the barrier on the exit of turn 1, still getting used to these slippery track conditions as the track is drying from that little rain shower that we had a few laps ago, but it was looking promising for Liam from the sprint race. He's down in 8th place in the feature race, and he could be under pressure from Evan and Kino that are charging up through Rouge and Radion for the 10th time this evening. That gap is coming down and down as Liam picks up speed once again. Kino pulls alongside, now ahead of the Peugeot in 8th place. Can he get one more by the time they get to Lake Holm? Down the Kemmel Straight is going to be Kino in 9th, ahead of Evan in 10th. Unfortunately for Liam, he doesn't lose any positions.
Yeah, so unfortunately there for the Dutchman in the Porsche. Was looking promising, was holding off the other cars behind him really well, I thought, at the beginning of this stint now, but yeah, getting caught out by the changing track conditions. As we do still have Taylor in the race here, actually, but again, I think she needs to come off those inters now, except it's not going to work, basically, and try and get a different tyre to the end. Off the top of your head, sorry, Natty, what was the tyre life on the softs looking like really at this stage?
I think softs could do about 8-9 laps, so he could take them to the end. But he's almost like goal hanging for a safety car, except he's just waiting for the rain to come. But I think he's too far back, and he's already burnt through the front of those intermediate tyres. So if it were to rain, not only is he going to be at the back, but he's going to be on the worst tyres out of everyone on the inters.
Back up to the front here, because Marriott now yourself, close on the back of Easton. Will he make a move into the bus stop chicane here? The rears on that Mercedes looking a bit worse. Go on board now with the BCR Esports driver into the bus stop chicane, through the right and through the left, squares it off nicely, has a good exit. Can he make a move into turn number 1? Hot pursuit, Mercedes versus BMW for the race lead. The driver's now lapping some second, almost 2 seconds slower than the fast lap of the race so far, and Veldhuis dives to the pit lane. Veldhuis comes into the pits, and again, because it's such a long lap here, because it's a long safety car, and it's a one stop, this undercut could prove vital in the outcome of this race. Veldhuis now enters the endurance pits as Marriott still in the hot on the wheel tracks of Easton now, down the Kemmel straight, as a bit too far back to make a move here, really, it looks like, as this race is still a little bit of a lull at the moment, but I'm sure things will be picking up towards the end of it, as Easton now and Natty just separated by just under a second, 2 cars out in front. And just looking to see here where Veldhuis has come back out, so still fuel going into that McLaren so far, out of the pits now, so he will be in 13th place and last bar 1 on track. We should see that McLaren pop up on the soft tyres as well, as Taylor does now come into the pits.
Yeah, Veldhuis, the first of the front runners to make a pit stop. We'll see what tyres he comes up when he gets to the top of the hill. It is the soft compound tyre. And the thing is about this pit lane as well is that it's such a long pit lane that when you leave it, you're not going to be in any traffic. You don't have to worry about pitting and coming out behind some of the back markers outside the top 10. So Veldhuis has got a bit of clean air to work with, whilst the front 2 stay out for another lap. And like you say, it's a long lap, 7 kilometres of the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, where these drivers are lapping on their worn medium tyres. The track now bone dry, so that intermediate run that Taylor tried hasn't paid off for him, unfortunately. But you might as well, when you start this race, well, end of the race, end the start of lap 1 at the back of the pack, you might as well try something a little bit different.
Oh yeah, you may as well at that one, I suppose.
But our top 2, Shea Easton, Nathan Marriott, two drivers that have both won races in FVR GT. One has picked up one this season, one has gone 2 seasons without a race win, both looking for silverware tonight, but they both stay out for another lap. Tyler Davison follows and change the position for 7th place. Evan getting past Liam. The Irishman up into 7th place. Liam might try and fight this back into the bus stop. He's looking at the inside line. Doesn't decide to send. No, does decide to send it late on the brakes. Down the inside, makes contact with the rear right tyre on the Peugeot. Fortunate not to send Evan off into the barrier, but they both survive to start lap 12. Evan defending the inside from the charging Peugeot behind. Pulls back over to the racing line. Liam's going to send it once again back down the inside. Nearly makes it through without contact. There's still contact between the two. Liam likes the feel of Evan's rear right.
What was it you were saying earlier, Natty? Day late and $1 short. That was 2 days late and about $4 short there from them twice, making contact with Evan Dalton at the last corner and at turn number 1. But yeah, now as I go up through round, John Lim having another run here on the outside line in the Porsche. Can he make this move so that there's a bit more contact between the matches? They make their way down the Kemmel straight. Lim on the outside, Dalton on the inside line. There's a bit more, but they're banging doors, trading paint on the way down. And once again, Evan on the inside, though, manages to defend the corner. Lim going off the track to try and get past the Peugeot now. And here comes Kino. Can't make a move at this stage in the race, and picking up a half-second penalty there is Lim. Kino down the inside into Bruxelles and gets the move done on the Porsche as well. So Lim, a bit over-aggressive there, now finds himself going backwards in this one. I think, again, just needs to regroup, reset and go again. That half-second penalty will give him some time to think about what he's done.
Kino capitalising on Liam and Evans' battle for 7th place, and the elbows have been extended on lap 12 of 19 in the closing stages of this race. Kino's run a little bit wide, allowing Liam on the inside. The two Dutch drivers very close to one another in towards turn 13. The Porsche is going to try and go right round the outside of the Nissan as the inside for turn 14. They still run side by side, but Liam gets ahead with a great move, and I think a move he needed to make before he got to Stavelot, because he might be about to lose two of them. Having said that, Cameron behind has also picked up a half-second time penalty, so the damage might not be too bad for the Dutchman. He runs a little bit wide. Kino's going to pull alongside before they get to the penalty gate. As both drivers slow down, our front runners are in.
And here we go. So Easton and Natty now coming into the pit lane. I want to see here where these guys come out in relation to Veldhuis. He's had a couple of laps now on those soft tyres, got them up to temperature. He's been pushing out there in clear air. Can he undercut the top 4 cars and lead this race? Easton's been very aggressive on the fuel, coming in with 27 litres compared to 39 for Tyler Davison. Wow, that Peugeot's been sipping the fuel tank in this race so far. Right, so cars into the pits. Easton will be the first to hit his box, and does so now. Car stops, and okay, so Natty changing tyres. All should be to a set of the softs.
Now it's a race to see how many litres of fuel we go into the car. The BMW's been released, I think, ahead of the Mercedes as they exit pit lane. We could have a change of position for the net lead of the race, but here comes Maurizio Veldhuis in the run up through Rouge and Radeon. Our race leaders making their way up the endurance pit lane. It's Marriott now ahead of Easton, but where's Veldhuis? If I can find him on the leaderboard, he's coming at full speed down the Kemmel Straight. Nathan tries to defend, but nothing he can do. Veldhuis now up until the net lead of the race.
And Easton picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that must have been for a pit line exit infringement, which means he's gone over the white line, either at the entry to the pits or the exit, as is so easy to do here at the top of Radeon especially. So he will now drop 3 seconds in lap time behind the cars in front. Pierre picking up a similar penalty as well. So that's now almost ruined his chance at a win here. That's a massive deficit to make up. So we now have the battle for the overall race lead is this. They're second and third on track right now, but it is Marriott versus Veldhuis for the race win here in Belgium. A genius undercut by the Dutchman. Does it pay off for him by lap 19?
Only time will tell. The McLaren is good on its tyres, but how quickly things can change in this race. I was going from fighting Easton to the race where now is Veldhuis. A 3-second time penalty is the worst you can get here on Gran Turismo. Probably one of the harshest penalties as well for losing or even gaining maybe tenths of a second, but go over that white line and you get that 3-second time penalty. I'm sure Adam was hoping it would absolutely bucket it down on this lap, having stayed out for another lap on those medium tyres. Easton serves his penalty. Piero will follow in as hot pursuit. That could bring James Kidwell in this battle for 6th place as Piero nearly comes to a halt, serving that time penalty. It could actually be quite close between these two with the overspeed.
Yeah. And these two obviously are good friends off the track, but on the track they are hard rivals. We can expect some good racing here between the Englishman and the Frenchman, as actually straight away Tiger having a look down the inside. Backs out of it though, doesn't decide to go for that one just yet. But yeah, these two are going to be very close on track. Let's see how this one develops.
Yeah, I thought about it. He had a look. Adam is still in the pits. The leaders go past. We're going in towards turn 1. James having a look for a move on the inside. These two made a little bit of contact, if you remember, in Sardinia when they were battling for position in the feature race towards the end of the Italian Grand Prix. This time it's for a space inside the top 5. Adam is now leaving the pit lane. You can see him going up the hill. This could be quite close between the Brits and the two drivers behind him. He's picked up a half-second time penalty for track limits somewhere, but Piero and James both go through on the outside. Hans demoted to 7th, but with the fresher soft compound tyres. Hello, up front, time penalty for our championship leader.
Maurizio Veldhuis at lap 14 picks up a half-second penalty, and all Natty needs to do now is just stay within half a second, stay within 3/4 of a second, and he'll be able to get past that McLaren for sure.
what we're seeing in this race is how crucial it is to stay within the white lines. Track limits really have been a deciding battle in several individual battles out on the racetrack. We're seeing 3 seconds for pit lane, half a second for track extending, and that's promoted the likes of James up into the top 6, Evan even into the top 8. Other others have dropped out. We're now down to 11 drivers in this race, including, and they've lost, the reigning champion Jenson Taylor, but our current championship leader might be about to lose the lead of the race.
He is. The penalty is served. Here comes Natty in the wheel tracks of the McLaren. Veldhuis doesn't defend it. He knows what's going to happen. Natty to the lead of the race once again in the blue BMW. He now leads from Veldhuis. This battle could go on for the next 6 laps here as he looks to find out who is going to win the Belgian Grand Prix. It is BMW versus McLaren. It is Marriott versus Veldhuis. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Davison looking interested in the background as well. It will be a battle to the line here in Belgium.
The sun is setting here at Spa, and the top 2 separated by 0.2 of a second, give or take, and Davison on fresher tyres as well. Remember, Veldhuis pitted a couple of laps earlier than these drivers. He's on the much worn softs. He'll be looking to try and get past, I think, as soon as possible. Has a look into Rouge and Radion. The top 2 separated by absolutely nothing as they go up the hill for the 15th time this evening. The BMW ahead of the McLaren. Which way Veldhuis is going to go? He's working with the M6.
Just for now, has a look to the outside line though, in towards Lecombe. Can he go around the outside? Yes, he can. Natty has him covered. There's almost contact. You can fit an iPhone between those two. They were that close. As now Veldhuis goes wide on the exit of the corner, trying to get past, desperately trying to get past, back past the Brit here for the overall lead of the race.
All this battling.
Yeah, these two separated by absolutely nothing, sorry.
So I was going to say, all this battling is allowing Davison to catch up. This could be a 3-way fight in the closing stages of this race. And of course, the weather's not set yet. We've seen it rain 10 laps ago. It could, of course, rain towards the end of the race, which would be a huge change to the dynamic of this race. But for now, it's dry. It's a sprint to the end. Veldhuis, though, on the raw, soft compound tyres. Can he hold on for a second? Can he push for the win? We'll have to find out.
So not too many laps now to find out who is going to remain victorious here. Veldhuis with the worse tyres, they're the much worse tyres actually. Now looking at it, he's at a bit of a disadvantage here, obviously running in the hot air of the BMW as well, picking up all of that dirty air and sliding around more in the corners and on more worn out tyres. So in 4 laps time, that McLaren could actually be very vulnerable. This could be the opportunity that Marriott needs to streak away and lead this race. He surely must know, or sorry, you surely must know even, that Veldhuis' tyres will be starting to go up the ghost at the end of the race. Or must have you?
It's that risk-reward type of ordeal with the undercut. Of course, pitting early, you get that track position, but then it bites you back at the end of the race when everyone around you is on that fresher tyre. I didn't think I'd say in a race, nor in the commentary box, that I would have the freshest tyres out of the top 3. Davison, though, is closing that gap, and Easton might be coming with them, but I think that gap might be a little bit too big in the final 4 laps of this race. Throughout the grid, though, behind, Pierre has just pulled out about a second gap to James behind in 6th, who's got about 2 to 3 seconds behind him to Adam Hans. Evans still in a battle with Kino for a spot inside the top 8 as he actually sets the personal best on lap 16. And behind him, Cameron Hill is running in last but 10th place. We'll be scoring a point. We've lost 6 drivers, I think, from this race. The most we've ever lost in an FVR GT race. Spa claiming several drivers tonight.
Definitely the race of attrition this evening. The drivers who have managed to survive are definitely reaping the rewards so far. It's points for everyone today. We're feeling in a generous mood apparently at FVR, but it is still Marriott leading the way here from Veldhuis. Not too long to go now. And Natty, what's going through your head right now? Actually, it's a good moment to bring that one up. You've got obviously a very quick guy behind you in a very quick car. Not too long to go before hopefully sealing your second one of your FVR GT career. What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, I think the thought is to just try and keep the car behind as long as they can. They're on the worn tyres. I know I've got the grip. It's just about staying ahead, not getting any track limits. Maybe bring Davison into the fight just to mix things up. Maybe they lose time behind. So I know if Maurizio's going to overtake me, my thought is that he's going to hold me up into Davison, and that could complicate things if I want to win this race. I think Davison coming into this fight could be a deciding factor into how the front three finish this race.
Well, Davison might be doing that all on his own. Last lap an 18.0 compared to an 18.8 for Beltois and 18.5 for yourself. So the top three now getting spaced out a little bit, but the crucial thing is that the third car in shot, you can see here, Davison currently is lapping the fastest. So if you can clear Beltois quickly, there is a chance that Davison could snatch this race away from VCR Esports. He actually goes wide there into the final chicane. Easton is on having a fairly lonely race in fourth place, but also matching the times of Davison up in front, 18.0 for him last lap as well.
I believe this would be the first VCR Esports win in FVR, if I'm right. They've got a couple of podiums before from yourself. And of course, James picked one up in the Dragon Trail at the start of the season, but this could be one step better for the team. With 3 laps to go here at Spa, it's myself leading Veltweis and Tyler Davison, top 3 in the champion. I'm probably wrong in saying that. No, I think I'm 4th actually. So 3 of the top 4. No, I am 3rd in the championship. Top 3 in the championship, top 3 in the race.
The usual suspects then. Marriott still leading the way though from Veltweis here. 2 minute 19 for Belgium in the last lap. Those soft tyres are starting to go up the coast a little bit. Davison now is so close to the back of that McLaren. Your top 3, nose tail once again. It's like the sprint all over again here, but this time we're playing for keeps. 3 laps to go. Will it be Marriott? Will it be Veltois? Will it be Davison? Could it be Easton as he rounds No Name in the back of shot there to go into P1 corner?
I think there's going to have to be one quite monumental accident for Easton to pick up 22 points from this race, but never say never, especially here at Spa. Here comes Davison, who dives it down the inside in towards turn 13, up into 2nd place, and he now has no cars between himself and a race win. He'll be his first of the season, I believe, if he were to win. The top two haven't won this season in a feature race, I believe. He has, of course, won the sprint in Spa.
He won in Sardinia, didn't he?
Sorry, I think he won the sprint in Sardinia, but hasn't got a feature race win yet this season.
Okay, there we go. So here we go. Davison then versus Marriott. Has Marriott been saving up those tyres? How much more performance does he have left? This is going to get tense. If you are still with us, if you are still watching, do not go anywhere. Natty's about to cross the line, and when he does, it's going to be 2 laps remaining. 2 laps remaining from here. 2 more tours of the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Can Marriott hold off a charging Davison? Can Easton get involved? Can Veltois resurrect a race win challenge from the ashes in the McLaren? Davison in the slipstream of the BMW in front, going down Rouge and through Radion corner right now. Here we go. In the slipstream, can we ride on board with Davison even possibly? If that's possible, here we go. On board with the Peugeot down the Camel Straight. Sorry. My sickness is still coughing up there. So we have now not really got an advantage in the straight line on the BMW at the moment. So it will be line astern into the com on this lap then. But still going to be interesting to see here who can come out on top in this battle.
And I don't know if you heard that, but there was a lift and a coast from the Peugeot. If you didn't check out the end of the race in Laguna Seca, Davison was leading round the final corner, but a miscalculation with the fuel saw him lose the lead on the line to Jensen Taylor. Could he be in more fuel troubles tonight with 1.5 laps to go? That could be the thing holding him back from pushing and taking the lead of the race. He's got the slightly better tyre advantage, but might be running low on fuel. Meanwhile, throughout the field, everyone behind in the top 5 running in a little bit of no man's land. My teammate, your former teammate, battling though for a spot inside of the top 6. Adam's done well to recover in this race, having picked up a 3-second penalty for cutting the pit lane on the exit.
Vieira's kind of checked out from this battle now. He's running a fairly lonely race in 5th place, just getting the final state of affairs here in terms of the final lap. Easton as well, pretty late in the race for him now in 4th place, really kind of waiting for something to happen to either Veldhuis or any of the top 2 to move forwards in this one for him. That 3-second penalty out the pit lane kind of, really did ruin his race at the last there, but still been a good drive from him though. It's definitely led some laps in this race. Could have had the pace to win today if not for that mistake at the pit exit.
Oh, Davison sideways through the final corner, doing his best Max Verstappen impression as they start the final lap of the race. I have 7 kilometres to take home my second win in FVR GT. Zav, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, sure, let's go for it here then. Okay, Marriott now on the exit of La Source. Not too many corners to go. For the last time, you're going through all of it. You've done it 18 times now. And now all we have to do is get it right one last time. Davison looks like he's going to be a bit too far behind to make a move into Lecom. In the slipstream now. Can he make a move here on Marriott? Marriott has gone defensive. He's not picking up the slipstream. Davison isn't going to fall for the weaving tricks. He's going to stay on his line and now to head into Lecom for the final time. He's just looking around, seeing the line, studying where that BMW is weaker, where the Peugeot is stronger. There is still a few more overtaking opportunities left on this lap. It is a long lap here at Spa. The bus stop chicane is the most likely overtaking spot between here and the line. Davison versus Marriott, Peugeot versus BMW, Germany versus France here in Belgium. As we head now down into Pouhon, fastest corner on the track. Any mistakes for the top 2? Marriott navigates it well, as does Davison now. The tyres will be screaming their last, both drivers giving it absolutely everything here. Natty's tyres are a little bit more warm than the Peugeot. Davison's closing now. Davison closing here on Marriott. There's going to be an absolute barnstorming run to the line. The fuel is depleting. The time is running out for Davison. Natty's a bit of a squirrely one. And I'm just going to bring it back here to a bit of history, because many years ago in a championship far away, myself and Nathan Marriott met, and here we go. He won the championship in the Premier Series in that series. He won a race here at FVR in the BMW. He's driven a Lamborghini for a season, but this season is looking like it's going to be back in the Beamer, and when he rounds the final corner, it will be back to the top step of the podium. Nathan Marriott wins this Belgian Grand Prix for BCR Esports. New colour, same result. Nathan Marriott is victorious here in Season 3 of FVR GT, and what a race it was. Well done, Natty.
Thank you very much. It is a first win of the season for me. Davison will have to settle for a fourth consecutive second place. Veldhuis finishing third for the 4th consecutive time this season. Behind them, Easton in 4th, Pierre into the top 5. A great recovery drive from James, who started the sprint in 12th. He's gained 6 positions across both races. I didn't quite get to the end of the grid before the ended. We'll quickly skip back through the race. And across the line in 8th, it was Adam in 7th, Evan in 8th, Keno in 9th, and Cameron in 10th place. But pretty dramatic end to that race, I would say.
Very dramatic. It was very tense at the end there. Like great work from the top 2 as well. And very well deserved win there from Marriott. Made the right moves when it counted. And crosses the line first, take his first win of the season. BCR Esports' first win in FVR history as well. And it comes at the hands of Nathan Marriott. Excellent job from him. Excellent job from my former team as well to bring that result home. And I was going to say, surely one of your better wins, Natty.
Yeah, well, it was either the dominant one in Grand Valley or a bit more action from my side in this one, it has to be said. The rain really doing its job in spicing up the action on track. Someone said in the chat to check Rouge lap 2, so I think there's no harm in having a look and seeing what happened. Let's have a little look, see what happened on lap 2. I believe it's...
I'm going to put your share screen.
Where are we looking?
What are we seeing here? The battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th here.
So I was trying to see who actually put the comment in the chat. Oh, here we go. I think we're going to see a bit of side-by-side up through Rouge and Red. And we missed this watching the leaders. It's Kian and Kino and Leon side-by-side up through Rouge and Radion. They're still side-by-side. That's excellent between the Mercedes. Oh, that was contact.
That's what happened.
Quite a sizable accident between the two cars. I take it back. It wasn't quite as excellent. It was an excellent crash. But
10 out of 10.
Yes. 10 for execution.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I think someone would have been executed.
Yeah, I was going to say.
So even after the checkered flag, and we still have on-track action.
Exactly.
Things that FVR provide for the viewers. But what a great race! Our first look at wet weather race as well this season. We've been a bit of a shower.
Yeah, we did see one car on the Inters, so that's something.
One car is better than none.
None, exactly. Glass half full. But yeah, definitely a really good race, and hopefully we are going to see some more Spa on the calendar moving forward, because yeah, very enjoyable race.
Yeah, the last winner at Spa before this race was Rami Azam, if you remember, but he's not here with us tonight, of course. Ended
Are you comparing
season
yourself
1.
to Rami Azam?
No, I'm just leading off the stats that I've got up on my laptop. So we got, I think that's 6 different. Yes, a different podium to the one that's finished season 1. It was Rami, Rick, and Cameron, the top 3 in season 1. Myself, Tyler, and Maurizio in season 4. So it's good to see so many different drivers working their way to the top. Where are we next week? We're in Interlagos. I say next week, tomorrow.
Well, yeah.
By the time we're doing this,
time to get out.
So make sure to tune in. That stream should hopefully come a little bit sooner than this one. But apologies about that once again. But it was, I think, worth it in the end with the on-track action from Spa. So make sure to stay tuned to see how these drivers line up in Brazil for the 6th round of the FVR GT Championship. Only 3 to go after that, and then it'll be the season finale in Lago. How quickly we've shot through the season. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
See ya.